point, and we will open it up for questions after that. Want me to turn it for you?
Yeah.
That'd be, yeah, make it easier. All right, you got the pointer?
My name is Scarlett Hammonds, and I'm joined here today with Eric Sujeski. We are, sorry about that. We are with the Corradino Group. We're a land planning, engineering, and transportation based out of. So you know that there's development expected in and around the airport, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a slide. We have a map of that. The county, as Margaret said, received a grant for this study from the state, and that is because it's very important to the state of what's happening in and around this region and the area and what the future growth that's about to happen. And we're planning today for the future connectivity, and we're looking to look out ahead of this future development today so that we're well suited in the future years to address it. So our study was really divided into basically four tasks, four segments. Existing conditions assessment, which actually includes modeling and looking at future development and how that's going to affect the future segments of the roadways, and we'll get into that in a minute. The community outreach aspect, I'll talk a little bit about the workshop that we already had, and then the draft that came out of those two tasks, our draft report, which includes recommendations for future improvements. And then finally, the fourth task includes this workshop this evening, and we will finalize our report based on all three of those first three tasks. The existing conditions assessment report started with identifying the study area. And I apologize, it's a little difficult to see in this map, but I'll just explain it a little bit. The airport is pretty centrally located in this study area. We went north into Glades County, all the way up to east to Palm Beach, and south to include the Madera Ranches neighborhood. We looked at current operating conditions of the roadways. Not every single one of them. We chose the most important 22 segments, and I'll show you that in the next slide. And then we went out and looked at the future conditions based on future development that's expected in the airport and around the airport. In this chart, we show the 22 segments that were identified for this review. These roadways, the most important thing to know in this slide is that these roadways were determined to be operating at an acceptable condition when we looked at the lane capacity versus how many counts the traffic is going through today. We looked at the counts based on the peak of the day, of each day, and also on a two-way traffic flow condition. So we're picking the highest volume of each of the days and looking at that, and we're still determined that all the roadways in the study area are still at acceptable level. So for forecasting, we started with looking at what future land use map amendments have come through, and we've mapped it in this map to show you that it's a little I don't know why that thing is in the middle of our slide, but underneath that box that's appearing there is the Airglades Airport. The future conditions are based on this anticipated growth. We took the square footage of what's expected to be developed in these areas with industrial, commercial, the number of homes and hotel rooms and other warehouse buildings, and added that into the model to show that this is the anticipated traffic trips that are going to hit the roadways when these developments come through. So when we talk about modeling, we coordinated this with FDOT, and we took what they had done in their model run for baseline year 2015. We modeled it out to future year 2045, and then we extracted the results and came up with our growth rate scenarios. And then we divided that into the years that we wanted to look at, and that would be the 5-year mark, the 10-year mark, and the 20-year mark. And then we prepared additional analysis, and we'll go through that to show you what happened. So when we look at 5 years out in year 2025, we see that we're not all green anymore. We've got some roadways that are going below that acceptable level. That is State Road 80, US 27 near Airglades Boulevard, and Hookers Point Road fall below. Then when you look at 2030 in 10-year condition, we now have 3 roadways that are in trouble, and they're getting worse. We've got the same 2 that we had in the 5-year, but we've also added now State Road 25, 80, US 27 east of State Road 80 to that list, and they're now at a failing capacity. And then in our 20-year mark, we now have 4 segments that are failing. And adding to those last 3, we've got now the Wyndon Corner area, those 3 state roads. We also looked at land use in the study area, and we know that we've had some changes recently, and we've included that in this map here. In the purple is the multi-use industrial. Now we've got multi-use and industrial coming up as the second and third most in the study area that we looked at. These areas, when they go to develop, they will be rezoned to PUD, and that will further define what those exact developments will be. So we had a public outreach workshop on May 1st on a Saturday. We had about 15 people attend and provide input. It was a really good discussion. There is a lot more to it than, it lasted a little over an hour, and we did have quite a lot of feedback. We have the exact minutes of that meeting if anybody's interested, but further comments, but we put a few on this slide to give you more of the big picture. The first one is additional local and regional connectivity was mentioned. Additional east-west corridors was also important. Safety concerns on US 27 specifically. Some environmental considerations that we should pay attention to as we further develop these roadway system, and coordinating with property owners and other agencies, and the need for a dedicated truck route, which would be a safer and better option for truckers. So based on the existing conditions analysis and based on that workshop, we prepared our draft study. And we described, again, the anticipated land development within this area based on that map that we had up earlier. And then we made recommendations in policies and changes to the land development regulations, and also recommendations for new roadways that we'll go through now. So basically, we have about 6 slides covering the roadway improvement recommendations, and we're starting really with year 2030. And in this slide, we show widen State Road 80 US 27 from 4 lanes to 6 between the Palm Beach County line and County Road 833. And this project is about 14 miles in length and would not include the downtown Clewiston area, based on other planning studies that have been done recently. Second project for 2030 is to widen Hookers Point Road from 2 lanes to 4 lanes between Sonora Ave and Davidson Road to County Line 835 Everclean Road by the year 2030, and this project is about 1 mile long. The rest are actually coming in year 2040, the recommendations. This one is to construct an east-west connector road south of State Road 80, US 27, between County Road 833 to 720, and then it also, in addition, out to 835. And this east-west connector road would need to be located south of the airport, and the project is approximately, this is incorrect, it's actually 14 miles in length. Furthermore, in 2040, we look to construct an east-west connector road north of State Road 8027 between North County Road 720 by year 2040. The east-west connector road would need to align between the Glades County line to the north and the northern property limits of the proposed development parcels north of State Road 80 US 27, and the length is approximately 6.5 miles long. This project is to widen State Road 720 from the Glades County, Hendry County line to State Road 80, US 27, from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, and this is also in 2040. The 2-lane roadway corridor is forecasted to be about 91% of capacity by this time, and the project length is 1 mile long. Then finally, the last project for 2040 is to widen Sonora Avenue Davidson Road between WC Owen Avenue and County Road 835 Evercane Road. And this 2-lane roadway corridor is forecast to be 69% of the capacity by 2040, and the project length is just about 2 miles. Additionally, as we mentioned, that we would be bringing policies to forward as well as part of the recommendations to update your comprehensive plan and also eventually to update your land development regulations. These policies are to ensure roads are built concurrent with the new development as it comes through, and to continue coordination with supporting agencies such as FDOT and the TPO, and to amend the future land use map element maps to include these roadway projects. So this is basically we're in task 4 right now. Everything that I've spoken up until now was task 1, 2, and 3. Task 4 is to bring this to you tonight in this workshop format, get some feedback, questions answered on these recommendations, and then from there we'll go ahead and finalize our report, and we're due to submit that by the middle of June. And with that, I will open it up for any discussion or questions you have of myself and Eric.
Lights back on, Shane, please. Assuming, I imagine all the east-west connectors are the ones we looked at prior when they had the maps. All that's the same, there's nothing changed from the original footprint, correct?
That's correct.
Comments?
I don't. Not offhand. I mean, when I got elected, they tell me it's kind of like drinking water out of a fire hose. That's what this feels like, you know. I didn't have any preparation for this, so to start asking a lot of questions right now, I'm not prepared for. But what it looks like to me is that you guys have done the work for us, and you're giving us guidance to move forward as we grow. Is that in a nutshell?
Yes.
And as long as our staff, do you guys feel comfortable with it?
Yep.
Good.
Anyway, Shane, Hooker's Point, are they going down that road when this happens, or what? Came up, it's been on there several times.
Hello.
Yes, sir, for the record, Shane. For the record, Shane Parker, County Engineer. The Hooker's Point was shown as a need to be widened. We're going to put some traffic counts on that road this week to give some traffic volumes to them, because the length that Hooker's Point Road is shown with is WCO and Sonora, and then it goes to Hooker's Point Road. So that's how DOT does their analysis with the traffic counts. I don't think you'll have a need to widen that road to 4 lanes as soon as they show it, but we need the traffic count volume. So working with our engineer, we're going to get traffic counts this week and see what the actual volumes are so they can determine if there is a need in the future. So it's just a step in the process. But there is traffic that goes that way. I guess they're wanting a shortcut to go south in 835, but personally, I think most traffic goes down Davidson. That's how I would go. A couple of short turns and a very narrow road right away, it's not worth going down, especially if you have high volumes.
I thought maybe they was trying to alleviate the stress of the local traffic, or maybe some of Sugar going out from south.
No, it was just, there's a traffic model the DOT has, and it's showing, they had volume shown there, and that's what they're going off of. So hopefully with the updated traffic information on that road, it may change
And the
something.
volume was taken.
That, I don't know.
Yeah, Eric Chinesky, Director of Traffic for Cordina Group.
And turn that podium around if
Yeah.
you're done with
All right,
that.
It was 2019, so it was before COVID. We made sure that, 2020 counts haven't been posted yet. So as mentioned, there's permanent count stations at specific locations. The one in question is on WCO, just south of US 27 and 80. But when you click on Hookers Point Road, it highlights all of Hooker Point Road, part of Davidson, and up WCO. And so they're considering that to be the traffic count for that. But again, as Shane had mentioned, we lay a tube on the specific leg of Hooker Point Road, that 1 mile stretch. You may get something less, but I know, if I recall, it's off the top of my head, I think the ADT daily count was like 4,500. So peak hour traffic for that would be 10%. Let's say it's usually between 8 and 12%. Use 10 in the middle. It's about 450 cars in the peak hour, two-way. So, but I think what pushed it was when we did the model, the regional model, which we did do a lot of coordination amongst not only District 1, but we also, they have their consultants that run the model, and then our modeling folks, and it's even beyond Scarlett and I, we have specific ones that do the modeling, regional model. It came like a 10.65% growth rate annually. So you imagine that taking that 10.65% over a 20-year period. So that, traffic 4,500, carried up 10% for 20 years and pushed that volume to capacity of the road. You want to keep it about 1.00, the volume to whatever the capacity can hold. It got up closer to like 5. So it was showing a need. And I think what's happening is that traffic is getting pulled over to go to 835 and south, and because there's a lot of east-west, and you've got a lot of connections there to traffic to avoid. So I think the east-west connectors, either to the north or the south, can alleviate. We've not only proposed the 4 to 6 lane on 80 and 27, again, understanding that there is a land vision or a visioning study that Clewiston did for the downtown area. So that portion, being context sensitive, may not be included, but the rest of it from the Palm Beach County line to the downtown, from downtown further west past the airport, if it got widened, along with the parallel facilities, would alleviate the traffic. And if you're, the truckers, I don't know for sure, but a lot of times if it starts getting clogged through the main line on West Sugar Land Highway, they may end up taking the alternate route through that just south of the airport, and then it might alleviate the main line. So,
Questions? Commissioner? All right, we appreciate the presentation. We look forward to the documents coming back, and we can thank you all very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buddy.